who is a wheelchair-bound widower. Actually, she's a widow, not a widower. Yeah. So anyway, my name's Karen Corwell, known as Stronger Than the Boys on Steam and Reddit. Yes, I am female. That's why I'm stronger than the boys. It's a long time joke. Anyway, so this is my part 2. Already got the house. Haven't done anything else in it. I've just cleaned it up. If you saw part 1, hopefully you did. Trying to figure out this house for this wheelchair-bound lady. And one thing that I did, because I like to be accurate in things, I went and looked up creating wheelchair accessible places, and especially wheelchair accessible bathrooms, also gardens, because she likes to garden, but she needs to be able to get around, obviously, so that's something to take into consideration. As I said in my previous video, the instructions for this said she needs a tub, as she can transfer herself into a tub but cannot stand. No, she's going to need, obviously, wheelchair accessible bathroom, which is usually a large shower that the person can roll into with their wheelchair, and then maybe have a bench like here on the left of this shower that they can sit on to shower themselves, usually with a handheld shower. So these are the types of things. They have to have lots of room, and again, see, this one has a shower. Now see, that's a really nice design. So what I do for myself is I save pictures like this and I use them for inspiration. I don't tend to copy them 100%, but see, like, here's my folder that has, I call it inspiration for House Flipper, and I just save various things in here. So we're going to call this, I'm going to call this a bathroom. I saved a few pictures because, you know, I mean, unless you're familiar with it, it's not something that you're necessarily going to know about. See, here's one here. They have completely, you know, a full-on chair for the person to use. So these are some of the various designs, porch ideas. Obviously, this one has a ramp. That's why I chose this house, because it doesn't actually require something like that. The kitchen design, I really like this kitchen design. I don't know how we manage it, because the sinks are going to all have, they're going to have cabinets and things. But you definitely want to have, like, ways for the person to roll up to them. And this person who has this kitchen must have somebody who lives with them, because if you're in a wheelchair, you can't reach the stuff in these top cabinets, you know, because unless you happen to be somebody who can get onto crutches and maybe do it that way, but it would be very difficult, I think. I can just remember what it was like when I've had a sprained ankle and I've had to get around on crutches, and believe me, you look at the world in a very, very different way. Here's another wheelchair accessible bathroom, very nice, and they have these like bars and things, which we're not going to have because I don't think we have those in the game at all. So this is what I do, is I go and I look for inspiration from the professionals, because, you know, I don't know about anybody else doing House Flipper, but I'm not trained in interior design. So, oh, look at that kitchen. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Yeah, see, this is totally like doable, except for the indents under here where the person would need to roll their wheelchair up. That's another thing too, is counter height, because someone in a wheelchair can't necessarily reach the same counters, but the kitchens in the game were sort of limited, so we'll just have to pretend. But yeah, so like even this kitchen here, this is a mock-up kitchen, and you can tell that the cabinets over the refrigerator, this person would not be able to get to those cabinets, so they would have to have somebody who lives with them who could take care of that for them. They call it an accessible kitchen, but I beg to differ. So we're not going to worry about vehicles because that would be Anne's own thing that she would have to think about. Yeah, so all of these, again, with showers, no bathtubs whatsoever, because a person, I mean, they literally, if you didn't have the use of like your lower body and you only had your upper body, unless you're like, you know, some sort of Paralympic champion, you're probably not going to be able to manage getting in and out of a tub. So every room in the house, you have to think about this person is going to be in a wheelchair and can't reach certain things. See how the sink here is indented. So we may just want to give this lady that little standard sink, because that one, it's not the prettiest, but at least it would allow for access. So may do that. I really like this kitchen design for her. That would be really cool. But as I said, I save pictures of things, you know. So I have my gallery here where I go and look up lots of images on Unsplash, and this is where I save them for future use or current use or whatever I'm doing. So if I want something with butterflies, I have these, and if I want something with animals, I have various animals I can use. Almost all of them from Unsplash. Other ones come from Pixabay. Those are the primary ones. Although sometimes too, another good site is to do anything where it's a desktop wallpaper. So I saved a few in here in my textures. Like this is a very nice texture. So you can use this for something. This could be a bathroom, could be whatever. Wall murals are very popular. I really like this. I may use this in Anne's house. That's pretty cool. In the wallpapers as well. This was another wall mural wallpaper. That's really very pretty. It's very bright. So you could pick up these colors in some of the furniture maybe. If you want something softer, something like this would be very nice as well. Some of these are a little more watercolor-like. This would be very pretty with some of the paints that are in the game. There's a whole lot of things, and I hope to kind of cover some of that stuff for people say, how do you do your designs? Well, a lot of it is sort of intuitive. Some of it is having studied some graphics design, not officially in school, but on my own. I've done some professional graphics design stuff at work from time to time, and my husband is a professional graphics design and videographer, so he gives me a lot of tips and tricks and things. So but you know, you can hand a paintbrush to somebody and it doesn't make them Rembrandt, so you still have to know, you know, how to do these things, how to pick colors that work, how to arrange furnishings that work, and how to knock down walls that are gonna have to come down. So I mean, I tend to usually like I think this is probably a good place for the kitchen, and this is probably a good place for the dining room because of the placement of windows and things like that. So I think we'll probably keep that, but we'll just take down the walls. So let's just do that. Used to be a little more efficient. I think they've changed it in the game. It used to be that you could, if you went across and hit all the top ones, you could hit once at the bottom and it would knock the entire bottom part out, and now it takes longer than that. I don't know why. So I think they've kind of changed it a little bit. But so I'm going to come over here, get rid of that. Keep whacking down walls. I may put these up again, but if I put them up, at least I won't have to paint them. Because this strange terracotta color is, it's probably not something I'm going to use. Okay, so now we have a nice open area for the dining room. And for the kitchen, we also want to make it very accessible for her. I don't want to make it just completely 100% open, but a lot of openness. And I will tell you this, when I'm working on these houses, a lot of times I try things and sometimes it's abysmal. Sometimes it's just like, no, that totally looked different in my head and that just looks horrible. And then I'll just knock it down again or sell all the furniture or whatever. And I think that's just wretched. And other things I go, oh, that actually turned out really nice. And, you know, and you don't know until you experiment. So if you notice, my balance is almost $9 million now. It's US dollars. So I can play around with that kind of stuff. If you happen to be a house flipper starting out and you don't have that kind of money, you may have to be a little choosier about what you buy spend money on and things like that. Okay, I think it's a good bit of space. I don't know, I'll probably knock down these two. I can always put them up again if I decide later that I really wish they were there. Okay, cool. I don't know. I'll leave it for now. So I want to take out part of this kitchen as well. I was going to open that up as over there. Let's see. Let's just knock down some walls over here. See, this way I don't have to go and paint some of these walls because I'm just knocking them down anyway. Really? Yeah, the hammer used to be more efficient than this. Okay, I'm probably going to want a little more than that. We do want to leave some walls so we have something to put things up against, but I also want to widen this hallway. So I think I'm probably going to widen it on the right-hand side over here to make it more wheelchair accessible and leave the left-hand side. I may take out a little more of this. Probably need to take out some of these. What I want to do is maybe make it with some of those little, they call it peninsula, but that's not the name because I looked it up and because I'm not familiar with interior design terminology. And a peninsula is literally something that turns it into like a U-shaped or an L-shaped kitchen. It's not the overhang like in the Kalina cabinets. Again, some people may be watching this that don't know what I'm talking about. So like this here, they call this a peninsula, and you see those little part that sticks out on the top? It's not a peninsula. It's not what makes it a peninsula. Like this here, that's no. Yeah. So if you go look it up, you'll find out that that's not really the definition of it. I mean, maybe that's what somebody else calls it. So here, yeah. So probably it's gonna have more come out, but I really want to go get this part of the wall out to widen this hallway. See, this used to be the technique was go straight across the top, and then you could just come in here and hit like one. Well, it worked pretty well this time. Yeah, there you go. See, and it knocked down almost everything, and just the only thing it didn't knock down was this. And it just tends to save a bit of time and effort so you can get on to doing more fun things. All right. There you go. Yeah. So I left this just to give myself a reference here, but I'll probably probably take that down later. But yeah, so I want to, let's see what that would look like. Yeah, see, that gives you a lot more room to maneuver. If you were in a wheelchair, I personally would want it to be wider that way. So if I'm going to put a wall here, yeah. And I got to figure out where I'm going to put a door. Probably should have kept that door, but you know. Okay. I don't know if this microphone is going to pick it up, but the dog upstairs, sometimes when the people leave, because I live in a condo, and people leave and the dog starts howling. It sounds like a sad wolf or something. So I will just put arbitrary walls here for the time being to give me something to work with. See, that feels a lot better. Now, I'm going to have to put some flooring down, but that just feels much better there. To have it a little bit wider. It takes a little bit off the room, but not a whole lot. Oh, it just thinks this is still one big room. That's okay. The other thing we want to do is we want to make this a much bigger bathroom. We really won't need this indentation, I don't think. It's a really strange indentation. I also have to figure out which room is going to be Anne's room. I mean, this room is very large, because we were talking about in the last one where she would keep her games that she sells as a side business, probably in this room. Let's see. Because again, if she uses this part here, she's going to need more room here. So yeah, I think this would have to come down. And probably move that over one as well. Just to give plenty of room. I mean, we're still going to have to contend with your regular doors, like these kind of doors, and they're just going to be that size, and they're probably not very wheelchair accessible, to be honest. But if I don't give her her door for her bedroom, someone is going to go, why doesn't she have a bedroom door? Not that people always sound like that, but sometimes they do. You'd be surprised. Yeah, because when I designed my hygge houses, they had glass doors and people were having fits. Oh, you have no privacy. It's like, yeah, well, you don't live in that country. Who knows what they have? They maybe have it on the bathroom, but I can tell you, and when I did my research on hygge, if you don't know what that is, you can look it up. It's spelled H-Y-G-G-E. It's a Danish word. I did my research on it because I had never heard of it. And a lot of the bedrooms had just like not even walls. They had more like a sliding glass door looking thing. They literally looked like these doors here. So instead of a wall, they would have this. And you could just totally see into the bedroom. You know, hey, you know, maybe that's their culture. We don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's only a certain style. Man, there's probably plenty of Danes who would say, oh my gosh, I couldn't stand that. But, you know. So I want to come over here and find out which one of these, because it just kind of bugs me when you have like little bits like this. This is for panelings. Let's see which one it is. Is it the dark one? I think it's the dark one. Yep. Yay. Okay. So, even if I change the flooring later, I'm going to put it in now. just for giggles. Because it's nice. I like this, so I may just go with it for the whole thing. Let's just fill in these for the time being. Oh, the dog upstairs is so sad. There we go, just for funsies. I'll probably knock out part of this wall though, because I think it would be good to have maybe, well, I mean, you could have just an archway, I suppose. Gonna fall down? There we go. Let's see. Do I want to do like this type of thing? I don't know what color yet, though. You know, I haven't decided on colors yet. So I need about 3 more of these knocked out. Let's see. Yeah, so I want to go that way or this way? Probably this way. Okay. So I'll take out this one. Have to knock that? Yep. Okay. So yeah, I think that would be nice to have that way. I don't know if I'll just put a door frame to the room, or do I want to actually put one of these doors to have it sort of set off from the rest of the house. But she would have to contend with the door. So that's a decision that has to be made. So far, we got a pretty open floor plan. I will probably knock out more walls to make it even more accessible and more accommodation for her. Because, you know, in real life, you'd have things, you know, you'd be able to go and get these, like, you know, wheelchair accessible doorways and things like that. Like, this is the bathroom here. Somewhere on this page too, there was a ADA compliant, which ADA is the American with Disabilities Act, and it governs things like, you know, obviously public restrooms where, you know, if you had a hotel, you know, it needs to be wheelchair accessible if you're offering that to your guests. ADA accessibility here, universal kitchen designs. You can see how the kitchen is slanted inward, so you can get a wheelchair up under there. But that won't work for our purposes because we don't have one of those, unfortunately. So, and things obviously like wheelchair ramps. I don't think we have any ramps of any fashion. Yeah, so you don't want a lot of knick-knacky type things that they're going to have to maneuver around. Again, I can think from the perspective of having been on crutches, because believe it or not, I have sprained my left ankle 9 times in my lifetime. It's very sad. I'm not really a klutz. I actually used to teach figure skating years and years and years ago. But it turns out that I have one leg longer than the other. Oh goodness, the dogs are really starting up upstairs. So if you hear dogs howling, that's what it is. They have 2 dogs and they just egg each other on. Oh no. Okay. This is a really pretty design. I like this. This is pretty cool. Yeah, this is that same kitchen. Oh my goodness, these dogs. Wow. And here is a wheelchair accessible terraform garden kit. How nice is that? Again, things that we don't have access to in the game. Patio ideas. So that's pretty cool too. Sometimes I get ideas for just for layout because I think, well, what else can I do? Because I'm not a landscaper. And in most cases, if you hire a landscaper, they don't do the interior design. And if you hire someone to do interior design, they don't do your landscaping. And in the game, we're supposed to do both. So we have to wear all the hats. So, yep, another wheelchair accessible again with angled cabinets and things. Okay. All right, enough of that. Let's see what else we can do. I just want to make this wide enough for her. So, again, now I have room on this side. We're going to knock this wall out anyway, because I want to make this a nice big bathroom. She'll have 2 bathrooms, and I want both of them accessible because at any rate she has to be able to get in here to clean the bathroom in some fashion. Yeah, I talk about these people like they're real. I know, it's strange. But, you know, I wrote novels for over 20 years, and I tend to think of these people as real people. It's my way. This is the way. So now we'll have a nice big bathroom, so I can actually pull this wall in by 1. Yeah, let's do that. Like that. And it's not going to let me do that one because I'm going to have to knock it down first or get rid of this, either way. Gonna have to have a normal door on it. There's no way around that. Okay, so let's knock this wall down. Okay. Just make this whole thing a little wider for her. One more. So I have to go in here and fill that in, obviously. Let's do that. And maybe I'll leave it that way. I don't know. Well, at least that gives a lot more room. So far, this is just your figuring out layout. Okay, I think this is very breathable, if you ask me. I don't know about these rooms down here. We were going to go expand this bathroom as well. Again, I keep ending up in the other rooms. Okay. I don't know how this is if people watching this, if you're like getting completely dizzy. I am so sorry if that's the case. It's a really pretty view through that window. It's kind of a picturesque type of view. We definitely will not want this wall here. So yeah, so like if she were in the kitchen, she might come to this bathroom or something. So definitely want to expand that. I don't know what to do about this little room. This is kind of a strange room. Maybe this could be, should this be her laundry room? It'd be a long way for her to bring her clothes, huh? If that's her room down there. Well, maybe is there room for washer in here as well? That would be super handy. Oh, this room. This is crazy. Crazy wallpaper, crazy floor. So This is basically what I do. I end up wandering room to room to room and go, well, if I put this here, then can I put that there? No, that won't work, or yes, it will, or oh, that's a great idea, or that sucks. So these would have to be like the grandkids and maybe the grandkids' parents, because, you know, like maybe her kids come visit and they would have a room. And so then this could be another bathroom. Again, wheelchair accessible. Because at any rate, she still needs to be able to get in there and clean and whatnot. And so this little room down here, let's see. Because this room, I could add to the kitchen, although just gonna want lots of room to move around in the kitchen, but not so far that everything is, you know, like really far away, because sometimes when you get too much space, then it's a long trip back and forth, and that can be really annoying. So I don't think she needs these little indentations. This is like a weird illusion. Ooh. So these indentations, I don't think she really needs those. And if we add that to the bathroom, but I keep thinking about that outside wall. That looks like a picture. Looks like a framed picture of some trees and purple flowers and yellow wildflowers in a field. That's so weird. Okay. We could preserve that door as part of the kitchen. That would make a really big kitchen, wouldn't it? Not that that would be a terrible thing. Let's see, what do we have out here? Because we've got the driveway. Still have to mow this lawn. I'm just so nervous about those darn mole mounds. They freak me out. Not the mole. I've turned him off. He just looks like a plastic thing, but the mole mounds just are creepy. I don't know why they're creepy. So I'm thinking about, like, how should we get our, like, groceries and things in? So we want lots of room out here. And she could easily bring them in here. Uh-oh, game freeze. Notice it's not saving right now. It's just frozen. So I know other players are having that same issue. I hate to think of this as a game, to be honest, because it just is, it's a creative thing for me. It helps me express my creativity. Yeah, so, like, I can expand this kitchen. Let's see. What else would she want? I mean, she has all the things. Let's see, she has the side business, buying, selling, playing board games. So some rooms she can store them in with easy access. Okay. Oh yeah, she needs a workstation. She does her job from home. I almost forgot about the workstation part. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I really kind of just like this part as being that room for the board games. And this for the living room. Workstation. Where do I want to put a workstation? Because, I mean, there's this room back here, but I don't know if she'd really want to go all the way back here to go to a workstation. So this is a little anomaly room. I don't know what to do with. Yep, this is what I do, folks. I just wander room to room and go, what am I going to do with this room? Because once you start working in a room, I find it's hard to change it. Especially, I don't know. I mean, like, I've done it once. But usually when it's kind of like I get started in a room and then it just sticks, and that's where I stay. So, I mean, this room here, this could be, but this has access to the bathroom. Doesn't have to, but it does right now. And I hate to get rid of this door because then things start looking really closed off. So would this be big enough for her little side business and her little office workstation? I mean, it could be one and the same. Yep. Okay, well, I'm going to give this some thought for a while. I'm not going to record while I'm just sort of sitting here staring at rooms. And so we'll continue with part 3. See you guys in the next video.